Hi guys, welcome to part 4 of this Django with Artificial Intelligence series where we are building a solution for classifying the digits with the use of convolutional neural network. So last time we were able to save the image that we can simply write down over here. So for example, I'm going to put in 8 and I can press send and successfully sent to classification. So right now, if we head over to the digits over here, we have the 8 that I written down. And now it's time to do something with this 8. It's time to bring the model that we created. And with the use of this model, simply make the classification possible. So at the end, we will fill out this result field with the classification. And then this result field needs to be returned over here to the front end and displayed below this alert. So this is exactly what we are going to do in this one. So we will begin with the Django part, and now we need to bring back our save method because we are going to override it. And I will begin with 2 imports. So I'm going to import from pil image, and also I'm going to import from keras pre-processing image. Let's import image to array, and let me just check very quickly over here. Let me do pip freeze because I want to see if we have installed. Okay, pillow is installed, but we didn't install keras. All right, so I'm going to install keras right now. Pip install keras. Okay, and we will also need OpenCV. So let me check if I remember. Pip install OpenCV Python. I think this was the package. Pip install OpenCV Python. Okay. All right, let's see if we need to install NumPy or is it already there. Okay, it's already there. So I'm just going to run the server and maybe we will need to install something else. So for now, Python manage py run server. Okay, and now this should work. So the first thing that I'm going to do over here is to actually print the self image. And then what I'm going to do is to open up the image. So I'm going to set a variable image, and here I'm going to put an image open, and we want to open self image. And then if you remember from the previous part, we need to work on an array. So we can set a new variable called image array, and this is going to be image and then image to array, and we want to pass in the image. And then I'm going to simply print the image array, and I'm going to print the image array shape. Okay, so yeah, let me save this and let's see what do we get over here. So I'm going to hit reset and I'm going to write down maybe 3, send, and let's see, do we have 8? Something went wrong, so let me see. Keras requires TensorFlow 2.2 or higher. Install pip install TensorFlow. Okay, so we need to install TensorFlow as well for this. So let's do it. Pip install TensorFlow. And we will try this one more time in just a second. Here are some errors, but they don't really matter. We just need to, if we are not using the logo, we just need to delete it. If we aren't using save as, we should comment it out. And the get image result is a function that we will fill out in this part of the series. So yeah, don't worry about those errors over here. All right, so now I'm going to run Python manage py run server, and let's try this out one more time. Okay. All right, so I'm going to hit reset, and maybe once we hit reset, this alert should be gone. So this is something that we can work on a little bit later. I'm going to press send, and here now I'm going to refresh, and we don't see any result. That means that something is wrong, and the name image is not defined. Of course not, because we also need to import it. So from keras, actually I'm going to copy this. From keras pre-processing, we want to import the image. Okay, sorry about that. Let's try this out one more time. 3 send, and then object has no attribute shape. And this of course shouldn't be image to array, it should be image array. Okay, so we want to get the shape of our image array. So sorry about that. Come on, let's focus and let's do this right. 3 send, and let me try it one more time. Send, and now we have successfully sent to classification. And let's see, what do we have here? So we have 800 by 798 and 4 channels. So we need to reshape this. Actually, we need to have 28 by 28 and 1 channel, and then we are passing only one picture at a time to classification. So we actually need to have 1 by 28 by 28 by 1. Okay, so this is something that we need to do, and I'm going to set over here the dimensions. I'll call it dim, and this is going to be a tuple with 28 by 28. And when shrinking an image, we will have to use an interpolation, and an inter area is probably the best option over here. So I'm going to set a new variable called resized, and this is going to be cv2. So we need to import cv2, okay, and then cv2, and then we want to resize. And before we actually do this, we need to define another variable called, maybe let's put in new image, and this is going to be cv2 and then cvt color, and we want to put in image array, image array. It's confusing, this image array and image2 array. Maybe I should pick better names, sorry about this. And then let's do cv2 color bgr to gray. So this is what we've done in Google Colab notebook. Okay, and now we are going to pass this new image over here, and we are going to set the dimensions to dim. So actually maybe I can bring this over here. So the dimensions are just above the resized variable, and then as mentioned before, we are going to set the interpolation, and this is going to be cv2 inter area. Okay, so now what we can do is to print out the resized shape. And yeah, we will see what we will get over here. I'm going to save this and let's try this out. So let's press reset for send. Let's see if we got another one over here. This is our 4, so this worked. And this is our shape currently, 28 by 28. So as mentioned before, we need to have one for the color channel and one for as an information that we are only passing one image. This kind of shape is expected by keras. Okay, so we did this also in the previous tutorial, in the previous part, so it's time to apply it over here as well. And we can do this by maybe we can define another variable called ready. This is going to be np expand dims. So again, this is something that we did last time. We are passing resized, and first axis is equal to 2. But then, okay, we need to import numpy first. So import cv2 and import numpy as np. Okay, and we have extended one dimension, so let's do this one more time. And this time ready is going to be also over here. We are overriding this ready but passing the ready from over here, and this time axis is going to be over here. And then we can print not the resized shape but the ready shape as well. Okay, so let's save this. I'm going to reset and put in 2, send, and let's take a look. Do we have 10? Yes, we do. So here is our 2, and now we have the proper dimensions, 1 by 28 by 28 by 1. Okay, so yeah, now we can proceed and actually load our convolutional neural network. So the first thing is to go to our Django folder and bring this ANN model H5 to the source directory. So this is exactly what I did. Okay, the next step will be to write down a try block, try except block, and here we will begin by getting the file model. So I will define the variable called file model, and we need to import a load model and OS as well. So next to CV2 I'm going to import OS, and at the top we are going to import from TensorFlow Python. We want to import OPS first, and then let's do the import of the model. So from TensorFlow keras models, we want to import load model. And now we can begin with getting the model. So file model is going to be equal to ospath.join, and we want to put in settings. So okay, we forgot to import settings. So yeah, at the top, maybe somewhere over here, let's just write from Django conf, we want to import settings, and here we can write down settings base dir, and then we need base dir. Okay, and then we need to pass in the name of our model. So this is going to be ANN model H5, because this is how we named it, ANN model H5. Okay, so this is one thing. Then we need to set up the graph, and we will do it by graph is equal to ops get default graph. So here we are setting the graph which contains the data flow of the computations. And we can now write with graph as default. We can now create a model variable and assign load model, and here we will simply pass our file model. Okay, so if we are here, we can create another variable called pred, and usually we would have some kind of labels over here, but basically our labels are the indexes. So we don't need to create a list of labels. We just can simply write down npa arg max, and here we can write down model predict and just put in ready. And then if we make the prediction, we can simply write down self result, and to self result we can assign str and then pred. And then we can print out something like classified as, and then put in the pred. All right, and then this is the try, and in case of failure, let's put in except, and here we can print out failed to classify, and then below let's put in self result is equal to failed to classify. Okay, so yeah, let's see if this will work. I'm going to save this. So let's see what's going on. Okay, it's reloading. This is why we don't see the page over here. I'm going to head over to digits. I'm going to reset it. I'm going to put in 1 cent. Let's see, do we have it? We have it indeed, and we have failed to classify. So something didn't go the way it should, and now we need to figure out what went wrong. And I think I found the problem. It's get default graph, not grep. So I'm going to save this and try this one more time. So digits, is it reloading? Okay. Digits, I'm going to press reset and let me put in 3 cent. Let's refresh again. We have 12, and again we have failed to classify. So this wasn't the only mistake over here. And let's see what else did we miss. Alright guys, so I was able to solve the problem. The problem was in the graph, and according to the documentation, this is the way how to do it with TensorFlow version 2. And yeah, we can simply delete it. I think this is no longer valid. You can't do it anymore like this. So we will stick with the graph equal to TF. So I imported TensorFlow as TF, and then I did this according to the documentation. So now we have the graph set, and then here nothing changes, and the rest will work if we try to classify it one more time. So I'm just going to save this and go back to the browser. I'm going to refresh and write down 3 cent successfully sent for classification, and here if we refresh we have our 3 and 3. Okay, so sorry again about the issues. This solution that I had didn't work no more, so we had to change this, and I think now everything is working over here, so we can do some coding in the front end in order to bring this result we got over here to the front end. So yeah, let's open up our React file, and if we have here handle reset, let's also set send to false. Okay, so I'm going to head over to handle reset, and here I'm just going to put in set send is equal to false, because depending on the set send, we have this alert over here. Okay, successfully sent to classification. So once we press reset, we set send to false again, and it should disappear. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to hit reset. False is not defined, and this is because it should be false with a lowercase. So this is when you do jumping between Python and JavaScript. False. Let's try this one more time. I'm going to write down 5, send. We have successfully sent to classification, reset, and now it's gone. Okay. All right. So now let's focus on this get image result. So I'm just going to borrow Axios posts this entire line, but we will of course do some adjustments in just a second, because here we aren't dealing with Axios post. We want to use Axios get, and let's change this to backticks so we can actually put in the ID from over here at the very end. ID, and this will do the trick. So let's close it, and then let's put in then res, and what do we want to do? Well, first of all, we need to have another variable over here, so we will use state again for storing the result. So I'm going to put in const, and I'm just going to name this result and set result, and then set result. Okay, and I'm going to use state and leave it as blank. Okay, so now we can actually set the result over here. So let's put in set result, and we will refer to this res, and then data, and then result. Okay, so this should give us the result, and we should also put in here something like if there is a result, we want to in h3 display the result, so we can put in result is, and then put in the result, and this should do the trick. But one more thing that we would like to do is to change this. The send button can stay, but successfully sent to classification, maybe let's put in successfully saved for classification, something like that. So now I'm going to save this, and let's hope this will work. So let's just in case refresh, and I'm going to put in 3 send successfully saved for classification. However, we didn't get the result. So okay, we need to use this get image result because it's not assigned anywhere. So I'm going to put it over here. When we use when we do the post, we set send to true, and then below let's put in get image result, and we need to pass in the ID. So here we have res data, and inside of so we are printing out in the console res data. So here we want to put in res data and then ID. So here we will pass in the ID, and thanks to this we have access to this ID and to this URL. So we will get the ID and return the result. So I'm going to save this and do it one more time. 3 send, and as you can see, result is 3. This is working. So let me try this one more time. 4 sent, and we have result is 4. If I press reset, okay, we also need to reset the result. So if we head over to handle reset, let's also set result to blank. And let me try this one more time. I'm going to put in 2. Result is 2, and once I press reset, now the result is gone as well. Alright guys, so this was quite a tough one. We had some errors. I apologize for this, but the solution is working, and I'm going to upload the entire code to GitHub. Thanks for watching. And there's one more announcement that I would like to make. Probably I won't do the 5th part of this series, which should cover the theory from part 3. And the reason is because I don't think this there's a demand on those kind of videos. Apart from the first video from this series, the rest of the videos have very bad statistics. And I'm not talking about the likes, I'm talking about the average watch time, the clicks, and so on. The statistics are really bad. So I think I'll focus on making more Django related videos and forget for some time about combining Django with artificial intelligence. Maybe in the future, if there is a demand, I will create some videos. I wanted to make a video with PyTorch, something similar, but not related to classification, but regression. But I think many of you simply want to see something different, like Django REST framework, like Django with Celery, like Django with Django channels. So yeah, the next video that I'm going to release will be about backing up our database. And this should be a short and easy and fun to watch tutorial. And the next one will be probably the second part of the crypto real-time application. Okay, so this is it. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you soon. Take care and bye bye.